What's going on? Family, friends, good people. This is Chuck coming to you solo tonight. I told Shawn to give me 10 random questions that I could not see. If y'all hear my dog in the background, he's having a ball. But yeah, so I had her just give me 10 random questions to ask me, which I'm trying to get more consistent with putting out content. So yeah, so here they are. Obviously, pretty much every question she asked me was about love, and that's fine. We'll have many more interviews to do. So I will start. So question number one is, what are your thoughts on chivalry? Is it dead? Why or why not? No, I don't think chivalry is dead. If chivalry was dead, then I wouldn't be getting married in a week. I do feel like that, I know Dave Chappelle said a joke. He said chivalry is dead and women killed it, which I kind of agree with. I don't think chivalry is dead. I feel like that women's expectations are just extremely high. And if there's a certain plateau, a certain goal, that a woman thinks a man should be on, and he feels like he's not going to get there. And some women, tend to have high expectations, low patience, like the great Mos Def said in the song My Common called The Questions. I think it's not necessarily that chivalry is dead. It's just that, some men have just kind of lost hope in trying to please women. And being single for about 8 years now, well, not anymore since I'm engaged, but I learned that firsthand, that, some women's expectations are just astronomical. And so a lot of men would, are just like, hey, I'll just be by myself and, have me the shorty on the side and just live my life. Because, some women's expectations are just out there. And like the late, great Kevin Samuel said, he said, ask a woman what her expectations are. They'll give you war and peace. Ask them what they bring to the table. They can't write it on the back of a stamp. So, no, I don't think chivalry is dead. I just think that women's conferences and Tyler Perry movies have made it hard for men to be accepted as just regular hardworking men that may or may not be this grandiose, millionaire that's able to give women this unrealistic life that they want. So, yes, I think chivalry is still alive, but why bother? Sometimes. All right. Number 2, how did you become so caring and thoughtful? I think it's just in my nature. I grew up in a family that's predominantly women. And I think just, being around women all the time, understanding, what they want, more important, what they don't want. I think that just kind of, was a catalyst to me of being a thoughtful and caring person. And, I have to give a lot to my parents as well. You learn a lot by, what your parents do. I think in my parents' later years, specifically the year before my father passed away, the way I saw him protect, love, and revere my mother, was like anything I've ever seen, excuse me. So I think it was just, what I saw, both good and bad, that made me a thoughtful and caring person. And I think it's just innate, some people are jerks, some people are selfish, some people are buttholes. I'm just not that. I choose to be a caring, thoughtful person, because golden rule is treat others how you want to be treated. So yeah, I don't get it twisted. You know, I'm not that way all the time. You know, as Shawn can tell you, I have my bad days, I have my mood swings and everything else. But for the most part, that's the person I just strive to be, because I want somebody to be that for me. All right. Number 3. Is it important to open up emotionally to your lady and still be masculine? Yes, it is. But that's not contingent upon the man. That's contingent upon the woman. She has to give you that space to be able to do that, and to not be judged. And that's one of the things that really attracted me about Shawn, was that she allowed me to open up and to be masculine and to lay my head on the chest and just say, baby, I just had my day sucked. I think most men want to do that. Everybody has to do that at some point, because if they don't, you know, open up and about their emotions and stuff, it's just going to come out of different ways, you know, be it rage, alcoholism, drugs, you know, women, what have you. I never understood why that's considered being, you know, feminine. I mean, emotion is a real human trait, just like crying or being vulnerable. It's a real human thing. It has no gender. So, yeah, I think it's very important. Ladies, it's very important. Do not emasculate your man, you know, because everybody has feelings. And everybody needs to be able to relay those feelings in a healthy way, in a safe way, and to still feel secure in their manhood based on their woman's reaction to that at the end of the day. So, yeah. Number 4. What is the one thing you want your fiance to know before walking down the aisle? I don't know if I can answer that, because, I mean, if there was one thing I wanted her to know before walking down the aisle, waiting to walk down the aisle is too late to tell her. She knows everything that she needs to know. She knows that I'm in this marriage for life. That's it. I've been through divorce one time. Don't want to go through it again. She doesn't want to go through another one, which is why I waited so long, you know, before I decided to say I'm going to try this again. The things she should know that I would want her to know, she already knows. I love her. I'm going to protect you. I'm going to take care of you. I'm your best friend. You know, I'm your buddy, your homie. You know, all of that. She's been on these things. So there's nothing that she's going to need to know when she walks down the aisle that she doesn't know already. She knows all my secrets, my fears, insecurities. She knows all of that. So there'll be no surprises at the wedding. Yeah. All right, number 5. Dylan, I'm gonna put you in the cage, boy. All right, let me try this again. What would you tell women that are frustrated with the dating scene? First thing I would tell them is that men are as equally as frustrated as them. It is just as bad for men as it is for women. So join the club. It's not just all the men suck and are bad. It's some loopy women out here too. And just because you happen to be or think you happen to be one of the good ones, you know, it's hard for us too. I mean, you know, I met Shawn on a dating app, and that was a blessing. But if I saw another, first thing they say is a whole list of what they want accepting a man, and you gotta have this and blah, blah, blah. I mean, it just gets boring and taxing after a while. So, you know, keep the faith. You know, people say don't compromise, don't settle. You're gonna have to, period. And that's not always a bad thing. You compromise and settle with everything in life. So that's just stuff that you're gonna have to learn to adapt to and make it work, which is what I did, and I'm getting married next week. All right, what would you tell a good man that desires to be married or find his wife a good thing? Pretty much the same thing I just said. You know, learn to pick your battles. It ain't gonna be no perfect person for you. I don't care if she fly, you know, fat behind and mountains on her chest, and everybody. That doesn't mean that her personality is that fly. You know what I mean? Is no perfect person, man. That's just not real. It's not, and we just have to get out of this. So I would tell my brothers, you gotta, find somebody that's a wife when you meet them. That's what I found. And you gotta instantly just cut people off. And that's what I did, because that temptation is always gonna be there. Start cutting people off, deleting texts, unfollowing them, sitting out there. I type a text to a girl I used to see, telling that I chose this cutie. But you know what I mean? That was me. Like, I was just like, I'm good. I'm with somebody. I wish you the best. And that's what you gotta do. You have to be intentional about that. And when you find a good woman, we as men, we know that. And so once you find that person, and it may took me 8 years. And I've dated some dope women, but I knew inside that wasn't it until I found Shawn. And I was like, okay. And you instantly just start chopping off. What is the one thing your mom instilled in you growing up? Golly, it's so much. I mean, my mom is like my greatest hero. I think she just, as far as it relates to like relationships, I think she showed me, what a wife with some backbone is. You know what I'm saying? Like I said earlier, I didn't have the greatest childhood growing up. Did I see my parents argue? Absolutely. But I watched my mom be a strong woman that raised phenomenal children, that was a faithful, loving wife to her husband. And she was just the epitome of a strong Black woman that had patience, that had long suffering, that prayed. She didn't play, but she still had that caring and nurturing side that still resonates in our relationship today. And honestly, growing up with my mom helped me when it came to, finding a woman that I wanted to be with. And I saw so much of my mom and Shawn, that I was like, man, and it was crazy because they got along like instantly. So yeah, I mean, she taught me what a woman and a wife and a mother should be. Shout out to mom. What will you remember your stepdad for always? Wow. Just the, I guess just the, male, the same reasons, from a male perspective as my mom. He was a man. You know what I mean? He didn't play with us, but he took time to play with us, if that makes sense. I've never went without a meal. I've never came home and the lights were off, water was off, never. I mean, like, he was the ultimate provider. He was the ultimate protector for me, my siblings, but more so for my mom. Like, nobody messed with my mom because they knew who her husband was. His reputation preceded him. He was I think the thing I love about my dad most was that the older he got, the more soft he got. And I'm not meaning soft like soft, but I mean soft like, just watching him with his grandkids. Just watching him, and my mom walking hold hands and watching them laugh and joke. It wasn't a lot of that growing up with him. But the older he got, it's like he got a lot more affectionate then too. I didn't hear my dad tell me he loved me until I was 26 years old. I was a grown man and out the house. But I knew he did, but he just never said it. But I'll never forget when I turned 26. Sometime during the course of that year, he told me he loved me, and then we started and ended every conversation like that. Well, ended every conversation like that. And, he taught me how to be a man and be responsible. And, you got to go out there and make it happen. And when he passed away, a piece of me died because we were so close. So, yeah, that's what I learned from my dad. I miss his smile. I miss calling him, I'll still pick up I used to call him on breaks at work. And sometimes I found myself still picking up my phone to call my dad. And then, you get that millisecond, November 17th, 2020, he passed. So, I miss the wisdom that came from him. He wasn't a very educated man, but life educated him, to doctorate degrees. So yeah, rest in peace, Pops. I love you, man. What kind of husband will you be? That remains to be seen. I know the kind of husband I want to be, and I know the kind of husband I'll strive to be. I'll be an honest husband, for one. I will, do my best to be a patient husband, a loving husband, a compassionate husband. But I haven't been a husband in a long time, so I pray that God makes me, the husband that I should be, specifically, to Shawn. But I pray that she's the husband that that I'm the husband that she needs me to be, and that God needs me to be. So, but we'll be good though. These lights are hot, y'all. Sorry. All right, number 10. What is the thing you love most about Shawn and why? Nothing. I'm sick of her already. I done told her 5 times I'm calling this darn wedding off if I get one more text about the tablecloth. No, I'm just kidding. I love everything about that woman, even her flaws. She's such a woman. She's so feminine. She's so soft. And I'm not meaning like, soft to touch, even though she is that, but just her personality is soft and meek. And people mistake meekness for weakness. Meekness is strength under control. And, she has an amazing relationship with my son. She's just a joy to be around all the time. I miss her when I'm not with her. All my boys call me a simp. And if your boys start calling you a simp, that's a good sign that you got a dope relationship. And then my boys, I love them. We joke all the time. But Shawn is, she's like I say all the time, she's a wife and I met her. She came right in and just rearranged my life. And I'm just glad that I didn't succeed in trying to run away from her, which I did the first week or so. I did because that's what I was used to. So I can't wait to marry this woman. Even now, we've been hit with some challenges like a week before the wedding. I've never had any car issues. And now all of a sudden my car went to break down and the drying went out. And then, the photographer we had for the wedding, he has to have surgery. Paul, we love you. We're praying for you, brother. You're gonna pull through this. So a lot of stuff is happening, but I just have this overwhelming feeling like when I'm with her, that everything's gonna work out fine. So with that being said, yeah, it's forever starts in a week from Saturday, and I can't wait. All right. Yep, that's it. All right. Y'all love y'all. Till next time. Peace.